Years ago, I never imagined I would become Muslim. I didn't grow up with religion at all. God wasn't part of my life. And today, faith is at the center of who I am. I'm Inna. I was born in Russia and now I live in Canada. And this is part of my story. I used to work in marketing. I worked in a big company for many years. But after I had children, my priorities really changed. I decided to step away from my career and dedicate myself to my family and my kids. I didn't really grow up around any religion at all. Faith wasn't something people talked about in my family. We didn't go to church, we didn't celebrate religious holidays, and God, it was just not a topic. My parents were raised in the Soviet Union, where religion was banned. And when I say banned, I mean people were discouraged from believing, from practicing, from even talking about faith openly. So for us, living without religion felt completely normal. As a child, I never questioned it. I didn't think about God or belief or faith. Life was just life. Only much later in life, as an adult, I started asking myself deeper questions, like, what do I actually believe in? I think it started in my 20s. Life became harder, more real, and when that happens, you start asking questions you never asked before. I felt this need to be close to God, but I didn't know how. I didn't even know where to start. I didn't even know where to start. At some point, I got baptized. I truly believed that after that moment, something would change, that I would finally feel what I was searching for, but it didn't happen. I went to church a few times. I remember standing there, not really knowing how to pray, what to say. I was just hoping to feel something, to feel close to God. And instead, I felt lost. Looking back now, I understand that the search was real, the intention was real. I just hadn't found the right path yet. And then something else happened. I just wanted to go on vacation. I was dreaming about Morocco. It felt exotic, mysterious, almost like something from a fairy tale. Honestly, I didn't really know what Morocco was. I just felt drawn to it. I felt drawn to it, and I don't even know why. When I told my mom, she was very against it. For her, Morocco meant Arabs, Arabs meant Muslims, and Muslim meant danger. She told me they will put you on a camel, take you into the desert, and we will never see you again. I listened to her. So instead of Morocco, I went to Cuba. And during that 10-day vacation, I met a man from Morocco. A few months later, he became my husband. And then I understood something very important. When Allah has written something for you, you can escape it. You can make other plans, you can take a different road, but what is meant for you will still search you. When we started living together, I was Christian, he was Muslim, and we talked a lot about faith. At first, we argued all the time. I really wanted to prove my points, but every time his arguments were stronger, and I remember getting so frustrated. One day I told him, you always win because you know more. I'm going to read the Bible, and next time I will have better arguments. That's how my real search started. I began reading the Bible, but it wasn't easy at all. You can't read it like a normal book. It's heavy, it's complicated. You need guidance, you need explanations. I tried, I really tried. But the more I read, the more confused I felt. I didn't find the answers I was looking for. And that's when something inside me slowly started to shift. My heart began opening toward Islam. Every time we talked, me and my husband, his answers just made sense. Simple, logical, clear. There was no mystery, no confusion. Everything just connected. And slowly I realized this is what I had been searching for. This is what I had been searching for. This is what I had been searching for. Clarity, simplicity, a sense that everything fits. And in that moment, I felt a real connection to Allah for the first time. I still remember it was just before Ramadan. I told my husband, I want to fast with you this Ramadan. And he said, but why? You're no Muslim. Your fasting wouldn't count. And I thought, and I wanted to count because I believe in it. So just before Ramadan, I said my Shahada together with my husband. And that was the beginning of a completely new chapter in my life. I actually experienced fasting even before I became Muslim. About 2 years before my Shahada, my husband was fasting and I wasn't. So one day he told me, you could try fasting with me if you want. So I tried. And honestly, I couldn't fast even for one single day. When he left the house, I would drink water or eat something. I just couldn't understand how people could go from morning till evening without food or water. For me, at that moment, it felt completely impossible. Then, about 2 years later, I became Muslim and I started fasting. And something felt completely different. I've been fasting for I've been fasting for 12 Ramadan now, and I never broke in a fast. And it doesn't feel impossible anymore. It feels doable. And that helped me to understand something important. Fasting is not physical. When your heart is ready, your body follows. One of the most emotional changes for me happened inside. I became more patient, but not in the way I used to think of patience. It's different now. Like before Islam, when something hard happened, I felt frustrated and overwhelmed. For example, when I first moved to a big city, hours away by plane from my parents, I had to figure out everything by myself, like bills and work and daily life. It felt heavy sometimes. And I remember thinking, if God is real, why my life is so difficult? And I felt lonely and I felt lost. Over time, Islam helped me to see things differently. I started understanding that difficulties are not punishments. They are part of our life and part of our faith. Now, when something hard happens, I say, Alhamdulillah, and I accept it. Even when it's hard and I'm stressed or uncertain, I struggle sometimes. I'm human, I'm not perfect. But my perspective has changed. I understand now that we need challenges to strengthen our faith and to make us better. And now I trust Allah, even in difficult situations. My experience with the Muslim community has been warm and welcoming. When I accepted Islam, during the very first week, one woman from the mosque somehow found a Quran in Russian translation and gave it to me as a gift. I still don't know how she managed to find it here in Canada, but it meant so much to me. And everyone was so kind and friendly and supportive. Back then, our community was really small. We all knew each other. We would meet at the mosque and have small gatherings and share meals and spend time together. It felt like little family. Over the last couple of years, our community has grown a lot. So many new families and children, and it's wonderful. but it also brings new challenges. And one of the biggest challenge for us is that we don't actually have a proper mosque building. It's not like in a Muslim country where there is a mosque in every few blocks. Here in our city, we have only one mosque, and even people from the surrounding area come to our place to pray because there is no mosque nearby. So we rented a small place, and so we could pray there. But now it's not enough. During Ramadan, people just couldn't fit inside. Children, they don't have place to learn Arabic and to study. So the last two Eids, we even had to rent like a soccer field so everyone could pray together. That's why our community is collecting funds now to build a proper mosque, not just for us, but for the whole area. It would be a place where we could pray, and we could bring our children, and we could grow together. And I'm so happy to be part of this community. I don't remember exactly how my heart felt during my first sujood. I know I was emotional, but not in a dramatic way. It felt important, like a small moment that meant a lot. What I do remember very clearly is how my husband helped me. He really loves religion, and he's curious. He reads a lot and listens to podcasts and watches lectures, and he just wants to know more. He has so much knowledge, and he explains things to me with calm and patience. And sometimes I would ask him a very simple questions, and he would go into so much detail, but he never made me feel stupid. And that support made a huge difference for me. In the beginning, learning prayer was challenging. Arabic is not my language, so for me it felt like learning Japanese or Chinese. I would just write down the pronunciation of the words in my own letters just to know how to pronounce them. At that moment, I didn't even know what most of the words meant. I just tried to get the pronunciation right. Even now, I don't speak Arabic like my daughter does. She's 11, and Alhamdulillah, she has already memorized several hizbs. My level is much simpler. I have a small book with prayers for kids, and that's what I know, and that's what I use. And that's okay. It's not about knowing everything from the start. It's about being sincere and learning step by step, and every moment I spent in a prayer, even with simple words, helped me to feel close to Allah. One of the biggest struggles for me after my reverting was my appearance. I knew that I couldn't dress the way I used to anymore, and I knew that my wardrobe has to change. But when I looked at what I had to wear, I really didn't like it on myself, and it didn't feel like me at all. At that time, I wasn't even wearing hijab yet. I started wearing hijab 2 or 3 years after I became Muslim, and when I finally did, it wasn't easy. I felt shy, I felt uncomfortable, and honestly, I felt unattractive. I kept thinking, will I ever feel like myself again? Will I ever feel confident? Living in a non-Muslim country makes it even harder. Hijab is supposed to make you less noticeable, but in reality, it does the opposite. When no one around you wears hijab and you do, people look. And it's especially difficult when friends and colleagues knew you before hijab. Suddenly, they see you in a completely different way. and that attention can feel heavy. That was a real struggle for me, and it took time to accept my new appearance and to feel comfortable in it. And that's actually why I started sharing my journey online. I talk about Islam and my path and about style, because modesty doesn't mean losing yourself. It's about feeling comfortable in who you are now, in new you, and even if it looks different from before. If I had to give advice to someone who is curious about Islam but is afraid, I would say don't rush yourself and don't be afraid of your questions. It's okay to take your time, read, listen, ask questions, sit with your thoughts. You don't have to change your life overnight, and you don't have to be perfect from the start. No one is perfect from the start, and we all start somewhere. Just try to be honest with yourself and with God, and even if you are not sure how to pray and what words to use, just you can still ask for guidance in your own way. And I truly believe that if Islam is meant for you, it will find your way to your heart. Honestly, I don't spend a lot of time reading religious books or watching lectures, and for me it's okay, because faith can be lived in different ways. What I really looking forward to is living my faith in everyday life, in small things like being more patient and be more kind, especially when it's not easy. And I like learning slowly, step by step, no pressure, and I learn through real life experiences. And for me, being Muslim, it's not about being perfect or know everything. It's about living it, about feeling it, and letting faith guide my heart when I go through life.